Houston, we have a problem.
It's not looking good, guys. I was riding up that hill right here and I was cranking on the Brommy coming up this hill right here, and something really bad happened. I think I broke the Brompton for good. Okay guys, let's take a look and see what's broken. The bike started wobbling on me really good. I snapped the rear triangle. Can you believe it? Oh my goodness, man. This is not good, guys. It's not good. I've actually started carrying more weight on the Brompton, mainly because, you know, I want to gear up for the touring season, and obviously I'll be carrying a lot of weight on the touring season, but I never expected something like this to happen. That's actually scary, guys. Both times I've actually gotten pretty lucky. I mean, when you think about it, I've gotten lucky because my seat post broke, as you guys know from a video I made previously. My seat post actually broke while I was riding. Now my rear triangle broke. This poor Brompton, man. Well, I can't ride it like this. I have to walk it the rest of the way home. I'm actually not really very mad that this happened, because of the fact that I'd rather that happen when I'm testing it and when I'm riding with a lot of weight and I'm not touring. Because if this happened while I was touring, it would have been game over. I don't know if I'm gonna honestly rebuild the Brompton now. I might just put old Brommy in the old Brompton retirement home. I'm actually really grateful that the bike made it almost all the way home. I maybe have another half a mile before I'm home, and I'm glad that we made it almost all the way home before the bike decided to break. But I'm also glad that it didn't snap all the way. Just the one side broke. So I'm glad it didn't break completely in half, because that could have caused a catastrophic wreck. So it held together just good enough so that I can stop safely. And I'm very happy about that. See, I was actually thinking that even if I did find a used rear triangle and put it on the bike, I'm worried about other things, other metal components that have been fatigued over the years so much, and I'm just worried about something breaking while I'm out on the tour. I don't want the steering stem to snap in half. I don't want the frame to break at the hinge points. There's lots of things I don't want to happen. That stuff always seems to happen at the wrong time during a tour, like when you're out in the middle of the desert or you're in a remote mountain location somewhere. In many ways, guys, it's a sad day. I mean, me and this Brompton have been through a lot. We've been through several tours. We've been through all kinds of craziness. We have avoided all kinds of stupid drivers here in Denver. It's kind of sad, it really is. I'm really sad right now. Okay guys, made it back home. Got the Brommy on the stand, taking a look at the damage. Not good. It's not good at all. Yeah, it's a big crack, guys. A big crack. Unfortunately, not the only kind of crack you'll see on the streets of Denver, but a very sad kind of crack, I'll tell you. I was really confused by why it broke right at this area right here. It seemed like there was a lot of metal in this area. You would think that there was a lot of support, but then I started thinking about it and I'm like, well, this isolator can move around a lot. It doesn't have a lot of movement, but it does have some movement side to side, definitely movement back and forward. Obviously my hinge pin is getting a little bit on, it's not loose by any means, but it does have a little bit of movement. It definitely needs to be replaced. I was actually planning on replacing that before the tour, But when you got that movement in the rear triangle, it puts a lot of pressure on these bottom stays. At least that's my theory. A lot of lateral pressure. When you're going around curves fully loaded like I tend to do, you're putting a lot of side-to-side pressure on that. And I guess it just gave it up, you know, it just snapped. Metal fatigue, people. It happens over a period of time. There's only so many stress cycles this thing's going to take before it finally just breaks. Now, of course, there are a lot of Brompton detractors out there, and every one of them will probably tell you, oh my God, see, a regular bike wouldn't have done that. See that crappy folding bike, blah, 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 blah. Guys, I've put this little folding bike through more stress than most people ever would. I took this bike to the top of Mount Evans. I rode down Mount Evans at about 45 to 50 miles an hour. This bike has been under extreme stress. Lots of extreme stress, guys. I hooked the chubby trailer to this bike and I toured around Yellowstone. I took this bike over a mountain range in Wyoming. This bike has been under some massive, massive stress. More stress than most Bromptons ever will be under. I'm not complaining. Okay, this bike has done me very, very well. In fact, the only things that have ever broken on this bike are all peripheral things. The seat post broke on me. The pedals have broken on me, but never the bike itself. The bike itself has always lasted, has always held up. All in all, I've been very lucky. The seat post breaking could have been a catastrophic crash. Luckily, I had 4 points of contact. I had both hands firmly on the handlebars, I had both feet firmly on the pedals, and I was powering through a ride, and I had put some pressure on the rear seat and it broke. But since I had 4 points of contact, I stayed stable. I did not get off balance and I didn't crash. I was really lucky. It could have ended really, really differently. I've gone through 2 of these non-folding pedals. What happens is the bearings usually go out of them and you'll start feeling them flop around quite a bit. I usually replace them before they completely break. They start flopping, it gets kind of annoying when you're riding, so I take the pedal off, put a new pedal on it. The folding pedal, I wasn't so lucky. It is actually the only thing that's broke on the bike that caused me to crash. This folding pedal, as you can see, the whole bearing just came completely apart and it broke and I fell into the street. Luckily, I was taking off from a stop, so I was putting a lot of pressure to the pedals to get moving, and this broke on me and I fell into the street. So luckily, I wasn't going around a curve at high speed or standing on the pedal while I'm going over rough terrain and going really, really fast. Luckily, none of that happened. It broke when I was pretty much at a standstill. It broke, I fell into the street. I scarred up my arm a little bit. I busted my knee a little bit like I always seem to do. But luckily it wasn't that bad. So all in all, I've gotten really lucky with this bike. Needless to say, the bike itself, the frame itself has never broken on me until today. So all in all, guys, I'm very, very impressed with this bicycle because like I said, I put this thing under way more stress than probably 99% of the people out there would. I could take this bike in, get it reworked, get a new triangle, do all that. I'm gonna spend a lot of money doing that. It's going to cost as much as buying another Brompton C-Line. A Brompton C-Line is a workhorse of a bike, guys. It just is, okay? And I want to take a Brompton C-Line on this tour. The problem is I never would have expected the rear triangle to snap the way it did. That is not expected. I just would never have thought it would break like that. Which gets me to think, if that broke, what else could break on the bike? It ain't been my day. Sorry guys, the camera overheated and I had to wait for it to cool down for a little while, so I went and got something to eat and now I'm back. I don't remember what I was talking. Oh yeah, I was talking about the rear triangle breaking being unexpected. This tour is going to be epic and I really, really wanted to do this tour on my original Brompton. Unfortunately, that's not gonna happen now. And I thought about getting this bike repaired and taking it on the tour, going ahead and getting the new rear triangle, fixing joints and whatever else needed to be fixed on it. I'm just worried that if that rear triangle broke unexpectedly like it did, what else can unexpectedly break? And I'm worried about that, guys. I just do not want to have any unexpected problems on this tour. So as much as I wanna dump money into this bike, get it fixed up so I can take it on this tour, it's just better to buy a new Brompton and take that Brompton on the tour. That way I don't have to worry about anything else that's gonna break on this bike. Now, I've been thinking about buying a Brompton P-Line, guys. I know a lot of people like that Brompton P-Line 12-speed, and considering the terrain I'm gonna be going over, I think the Brompton P-Line 12-speed would be a really, really solid choice. but I really want to do it on a C-line like the one behind me. I don't know what to expect out of a Brompton 12-speed. I don't know all the things that go wrong with that bike because I haven't owned that bike. I know everything that goes wrong with this bike. I know how to deal with it. And I don't want any unexpected problems during this tour. So I am going to take a Brompton C-line on this tour. But don't get me wrong, guys, I'm also really considering on buying a Brompton P-line too, because 12 speeds, are you kidding me? That would be a cool bike to have. So I'm thinking about buying both of them. But the one I'm going to be taking on the tour will be the Brompton C-line. Now, to be 100% clear with you guys, I'm not saying that I'm going to fold this thing up and dump it in the dumpster tomorrow, okay? This bike, like I said, has a lot of sentimental value to me. There might be a time in the future where I'll put the money into it and fix it. But right now, it's not that time. With the tour coming, I do not have all this extra money I could be dumping in an older Brompton. Eventually, I'm going to put a rear triangle on it, and then I'm also going to fix everything that needs to be fixed on it and keep it for nostalgic purposes. But right now, I don't need to be dumping a lot of extra money in this bike when I need to buy another Brompton, obviously, especially for that peace of mind. So believe me, I'm not getting rid of this bike. This bike is going to get fixed at some point down the line, just not right now. But I am pretty sad, man. I really wanted to take this bike with me. I don't know when I'll be able to fix it because it's not a priority right now. It could be years before I fix this bike. I don't know. Right now, I'm going to give this bike a salute because this bike has served me very, very well. I really do appreciate it. It has been one of the best bikes that I've ever owned. And that's not a lie, guys. It has been one of the best bikes I've ever owned. And I love this bike more than any other bike I've ever ridden. Anyway, it is time to sign off. I have a lot of work to do. I've got quite a bit of work to do, actually. Plus, I got a lot of videos to edit. I know I've been telling you guys that the Rocky Mountain Folding Bike Tour video, day number 7, is coming out pretty soon. Guys, I've had to rework that video. It's not been easy. It is still coming, so look out for that. I do have a couple of videos that I'm filming right now that are product review videos. 2 of them are electric bikes. So keep an eye out for that, guys. Those are coming pretty soon. And obviously, when we go buy a new Brompton, I'm taking you guys with me, and we're going to pick out another cool Brompton. Maybe 2 of them. Maybe 2. So anyway, guys, not a very good day for the iBike Unfolded channel. The icon, the mascot, has died today, or at least is severely crippled. Not very happy about it, but yeah, you got to smile. What can you do? You got to smile when bad things happen to you guys. Anyway, I do appreciate you guys sticking with the channel. I really appreciate your guys' patience during all the craziness that's gone on in my life. I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.